less than 500 on faith, and around 2,000 on money and possessions. 16 of 38 parables are about how to handle money and possessions. So obviously, the Lord knew when he wrote the scriptures that we were going to need some help with this one. That money is likely to be a key issue for us. So as I said a minute ago, we're gonna talk about stewardship generally tonight for just a little bit. Come on, now. And then we're gonna spend the rest of our time just focusing on stewarding our money, particularly. Now, I was talking to someone earlier who said this is a hard topic for me and for my family. We don't talk about money. And we'll talk about that a little bit in a minute, the fact that we don't talk about money. But so for those of you who enter into this with some angst, I want to acknowledge that in some ways this evening might produce some more angst for you, but that's not where we're going to end, I hope. Okay, so hang with me. The Lord is faithful, and the Lord will meet you as you wrestle with this issue. Thanks. So, two concepts that are important to get straight when we think about stewardship. The first one is owner, and this is 1 Chronicles 29:10 through 14. Would someone read that for us? You can just read it off of the PowerPoint. Anyone? Thanks.
Praise be to you, Lord, the God of our Father Israel, from everlasting to everlasting. Yours, Lord, is the greatness and the power and the glory and the majesty and the splendor. For everything in heaven and earth is yours. Yours, Lord, is the kingdom. You are exalted as head over all. Wealth and honor come from you. You are the ruler of all things. In your hands are strength and power to exalt and give strength to all. Now, our God, we give you thanks and praise your glorious name. But who am I and who are my people, that we should be able to give as generously as this? Everything comes from you, and we have given you only what comes from your hand.
Thanks. So who is the owner? Who controls the stuff? Yes, that was an obvious and not trick question. And what does it mean to own something? Yes, it's yours. You have the authority to use it or give it away. You get to control what gets done with it. And why? I'm sorry, Barney.
Nobody else can own it.
Nobody else can own it. Only one owner. Yes. And why might it be important for us to recognize that only the Lord is the owner of our stuff? I'm getting y'all to give my talk first. Right. Because if we think we own it, we usually don't do, we wouldn't do a good job. We would try to control it in a way that may not be godly, or that may not glorify the Lord, or that may not bless others. When we think we own something, we believe that we have power and control over it, but generally what happens is that it begins to have power and control over us. And so the Lord in his goodness said, everything that I've made is mine. I am the owner. Only God can have ownership and handle ownership well. I'm sorry, I forgot to give you this handout, so you don't have to track with me quite so. And it's fill in the blank, and I know you're not in 4th grade, so use it as helpful, but I thought it might be helpful. That's what you teach, right? Yeah. All right.
She said it. I thought it was funny. It's all right.
I have a story to tell you.
What? Everybody got one? Almost. All right. So let's not lose that concept that often when we own something, we believe that we have the power and control, but actually it tends to have power and control over us. Only the Lord stewardship and handle it well. All right, second concept. Steward or manager. Psalm 8, verse 6 says, you, referring to God, made him, referring to mankind, all of us, ruler over the works of your hands. 1 Corinthians 4:2, now it is required that those who have been given a trust must prove faithful. So we are not owners, we are stewards. We are the ones that the stuff is entrusted to. That's what happened in Genesis, right? The Lord made everything, and then he gave it to Adam and Eve to take care of. We also have that privilege. But we have to remember that we are stewards and not owners. Stewards and not owners. So, what is a steward? Anybody want to venture a guess?
Caretaker.
Yes. Nate, what were you going to say?
Watches the throne or watches property while the ruler is away. The owner.
Yes, takes care of stuff. So it's sort of Joseph's job in Potiphar's house, right? To take care of the household. He was entrusted that. In the Old Testament, the word steward is generally used to refer to a man who was in charge of a house, like Joseph. In the New Testament, one to whose care or honor someone or something has been entrusted. A synonym might be a guardian, a manager, a superintendent. So our job is to be faithful with what we have been given to manage, not to own or control it. When we are stewards or managers, we remain in a position of dependence on the Lord. And that's where we want to be when we think about our money and our stuff. We want to be in a position of dependence on the Lord. So let's talk briefly about, besides our money, what are some other things that we've been given by the Lord to steward? Time. Yes. What else?
The earth.
Yes. What else?
Debt?
Debt? All right, we'll come back to that when we get it, when we talk about money. But besides money things, what else? That's it?
Time.
That's up there.
People.
Wildlife.
You gotta be quick in this room.
People? Relationships?
Earth or creation, yeah. Relationships. Our gifts and talents. What else? Yep. What else?
Our physical body.
Yes, our body. What else?
You can do it as the gospel.
Yes!
Oh.
The gospel! Nobody got that last week.
You mean we don't own it?
What else? Anything else? Another thing I might add are our rights and privileges. I think that's how you spell privilege. Good. Sometimes I put a D in it. Privilege. So when you look at this list, all things given to you, entrusted to you by the Lord who owns them. He owns your time. He owns the earth and creation and everything in it. All your relationships, the gifts and talents that he's given you, your bodies. I encourage you as you are aging, as Barney told us, to think seriously about that, about your health, about what you put in your body. The gospel. My goodness, yes, we've been entrusted with the gospel. We don't want to hoard it. We want to give it away. We want to be faithful with that. And our rights and our privileges. We are Americans, and in America we talk a lot about our rights, the things we have the right to, and the rights that should not be taken away. But before you are an American, you are a Christian. And sometimes your allegiance to the Lord, well, always, your allegiance to the Lord supersedes this country or to any political affiliation. And sometimes that looks like laying down rights that maybe our Constitution